It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. I don't need no scale. I've been on my, I don't need no help. Always getting money, rains, no sleep. Every day I work my thumb. I don't get to take off. A hater gets up. I'm ready like lift off. I never been nowhere, but I'm ready to stay gone. Nothing ever lasts long. I'm always beating the odds. Taking all these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live. I don't know what these mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag for it. Still at your mama crib ain't getting money, you gotta ask for it. I'm tired of complaining. I gotta bitch change my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day they take, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it. Ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Tennessee Titans. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Squeeze, double.
Hey, alert 33.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Man open, that's Damian Ratley. That one goes for 30 yards.
Well, there's a pretty big start right there. They go bombs away on the first play from scrimmage.
Put a smile on your face, didn't it? Not because you're rooting for anyone, but that's the way to begin a game, to put someone back on their heels and announce that they plan to be aggressive.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Now the third leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. And he's taken down inside the 30. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. The Clemson Tiger, Vic Beasley, reaches home that time.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Mayfield to throw it. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 33 yards that time. Well, how about the passing numbers so far in this first drive?
Well, no doubt about it. They're flinging it around pretty successfully. And look at the start. The confidence level that we see in him rising because he's hit a few early. And how about the last one? The big shot right there.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. From 8 yards out. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you get game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a first-time 1,000-yard rusher from a season ago, it's Derrick Henry. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. Well, if you look at this Week 1 matchup on paper and you see the Titans' name next to the Browns' name, you're thinking, there can't be much history there. But if you factor in that the Titans used to be the Houston Oilers, well, there is good history there because these two franchises were division rivals in the old AFC Central. That was before the 2002 NFL realignment. So there is history, albeit way back in the rearview mirror. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mack Wilson brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. On fourth down, here's the AFC Pro Bowl punter the last 2 years. That's Brett Kern to kick it for Tennessee, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
A big play that time out of Chubb. 43 yards on the ground.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. And he will find his man on the outside. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
That one is caught by Hunt. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. 2 excellent drives for them to start this game, both ending with touchdown passes.
Yeah, they're off and running, even though they finish things off through the air. Got to like what you're seeing from them so far. Being able to maneuver offense, take care of the football, and then ring that bell at the end with, as you said, 2 touchdown passes.
This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
First and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
36.
A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Going for the deep ball. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Mayfield on first down. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Well, not that we had any questions, but it's obvious his arm does not hurt today, does it? He does not mind slinging it around.
He is firing that pigskin around the yard.
Yeah, putting it deep downfield, taking shots. Unsuccessful there, but I like his moxie.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Here's Mayfield. Got an open man. It's Ratley. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Working out of the gun. Mayfield. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
54. Mike, 54. What we got? What we got? What we got?
Going to the air again with Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Complete to Odell Beckham Jr. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 44-yard line.
Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football.
Check. 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 Shift, shift. Real. Check 31. Check. King.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. On to the 2nd from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Mike's my board. Hey, I'm coming after you. Hurry.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And finding the tight end, Hooper. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
Set. 180. Check. Watch 54. 6 man. Check girls. Back. Tight dog.
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. That, of course, all set up by the big run on the play prior. They took advantage right away with the touchdown throw.
And you mentioned advantage, probably taking advantage of their natural instinct after that previous play to be aggressive and rush towards the line of scrimmage. And instead, they were vulnerable to the pass.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On 2nd and 11 now. Tannehill. He's got Smith here.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's Tannehill. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First down, Titans, gain of 12.
First down, Tennessee.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Tannehill on first down. Pass caught by A.J. Brown, and that's his first NFL catch. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Back to throw, Tannehill. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. After the penalty, it's Henry. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th. Now Greg Joseph for the field goal try. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. The kick by Joseph is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
The Browns drive about to get started. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. You said it earlier in the quarter when we saw a broken tackle then that we might see some missed tackles here early on in week 1, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. It will even out as the season extends because everyone will get used to the play speed. But right now, here in the early season, the advantage definitely goes to the offense.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. Now a 1st down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Let's get it.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
52's the mic right here, over there, right? 52's the mic. Here we go, D.
On 3rd down, Henry. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. And he's able to get it out of there. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10.
Break. 180. 54 Mike. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
A 1st down throw for Mayfield. He finds his target, Beckham. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb as the first half is winding down. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is.
And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Olivier Vernon. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Tannehill. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Get it.
Now a play fake, and it's Tannehill. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The #1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Well, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. That's going to be caught. A good pickup there of 22.
It's a gain of 22 yards. Complete to Odell Beckham.
3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. They'll run with Chubb. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Watch the run, watch the hurry.
Throwing, Mayfield, and it's caught. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
It'll definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now. 3rd and he takes this one in for a Brown score. Baker Mayfield keeping it himself from a yard out as his guys continue to pour it on. And maybe the defense caught a little by surprise there that he took off and got in.
Yeah, I would think so, because if you're analyzing it from that side of the ball, you're thinking running back, fullback. Takes you a while before you get to the quarterback.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
3 down, 3 down.
Throwing on second down. Tannehill nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 17 yards on that play for the Titans.
It's a gain of 17 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to float this. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, Tannehill. Eluding the pressure right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or 2 shy of midfield.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
On second down, Mayfield again. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
You remember me? Let's go.
Real.
Kill.
From the gun, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
The Titans take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
And it's 3rd down.
60 Pittsburgh. You better bring it. 5-2 is the Mike. Mike 5-2. Mike 5-2. It's our field.
Yeah. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
You better be ready.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his 1st NFL sack. 1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further.
Kings! Check, crunch. Hey, alert 33.
Mayfield to throw it. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that he dreamed of this. How about this for your debut? 2nd sack in the opener.
Yeah, it's great to get 1. That's memorable. 2? Hello.
Well, he dreamed about it. He thought about it. Did he ever expect it to happen? Probably not.
Now Mayfield. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A big play, but still not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era when we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Let's go.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Get it.
On 2nd and 9, Tannehill. He's got it complete. Derrick Henry. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that.
And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. So this defense clicking early in the year, week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This one fielded at the 5. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Here we go.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Okay, ready? Come on, 44 is mine. Check. Y'all not ready? Ready?
Again, it's Henry. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. The Titans on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Mike's Fofo. Rip right.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw is Tannehill. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brings up second and
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it, and this is picked up by the Browns. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Mayfield now. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Nick Chubb, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. Second and 10 from the 33-yard line.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over. Watch the edge. Check. Fresno. Up. Mike 55. Hey, alert 33.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 13. It's a first down. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. And now I'm listening to you. So for Cleveland, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.